Hi everyone, welcome to another episode brought to you by Insidious Warcry. In this video I'm going to be putting the defensive layout that we went through in the last video to the test, and basically showing how well it stands up against an army of orcs. So if we just jump straight into it, the screen's just loading. This is my castle, and you can see immediately he sends the first wave of orcs. The tar pits and the spike pits are nibbling at them and taking them out. And then the cannons and the zoomer beams above are able to inflict some damage as well. So now they enter the first choke point. And it's great because it triggers my orcs to come out of the sentry station. So they're taking all the damage, and before that, actually, they have to take out the barricade before they hit the orcs. And then my Dr. Watt is just left untouched, and they're trapped under the choke point. So the guillotine's doing a lot of damage towards them as well, and you can see the cannons getting in on the action, and the zimmer beams within range. So they're basically taking a lot of damage from that choke point, and they've already been slightly weakened by the lane of tar pits and spike pits, which is also slowing the orcs down, so the cannons can hit them more. Now they're going to enter the next lane, where I've positioned my dragon tower in the middle. The aim of that is to just maximize the number of troops that get hit, and which you can see works perfectly. Now, the advantage of putting the training ground where it is now is that it forces his troops to move right, and by the time they've taken out the first training ground, the heroes have caught up with the orcs, and then as you can see, the spring trap just popped 2 level 50 heroes and tons of orcs, so that's pretty painful. He then enters the last choke point, and again the orcs have just gone straight for the barricade, so they're not even touching my pharaoh. And once they're taking down the barricade, they move to the pharaoh, but my lava lord isn't even being touched, but he's frozen the lava lord, so actually that's not good. And they're stuck under that choke point, so the guillotine's doing a lot of damage towards the pharaoh, and I'm basically forcing him to use a heck of a lot of mana, in this case ice spells, because he knows my lava lord will probably kick his butt. Unfortunately for him, he probably hasn't got enough mana to use more ice spells, and my lava lord's just activated his special. Now, if you go back a bit, you'll probably notice that the rolling stone, I didn't realize until actually I watched the replays, it only seems to run along 3 lanes, so actually it didn't catch a lot of his orcs. So if I were to do this again, I'd move the rolling stone 1 level lower, and because of that, actually a lot of his orcs have survived. Well, not a lot actually. What's that? It's probably about 5, which is pretty good. So he did manage to get through, and as I said earlier, I think defending is a lot harder than attacking, because when you're attacking, you can use mana, whereas when you're defending, you can't. So I don't think him winning is a reflection that this is necessarily a bad design. I just think in general defending is a lot harder than attacking. And I would recommend, if you're a lower level, so you might have lower level heroes, or your defenses just simply aren't upgraded that much, perhaps move your throne higher up in the castle, because as a lower level you get attacked quite a lot by orcs, and your castle won't be strong enough to defend against those orcs, so you have to rely more on the timer. There's a 5-minute time limit, so by the time they get to the throne, which will be right at the top of the castle, the time limit runs out. But I just feel I now have level 50 heroes. I normally do win these defensive battles against orcs, which is why I moved the throne lower. I don't have to rely on the timer running out. But yeah, obviously you saw he had level 20 orcs. they were fully boosted with a fully upgraded Ghost Samurai, so that's about as tough as it gets, and I still forced him to use a lot of mana, and he very nearly lost, and I reckon if we did it again and I moved the Rolling Stone lower, and maybe made a few tweaks, which we'll go through in next videos, I think he might not have made it. So I hope that that video just helps to reinforce the first video in the video 3 series, where I basically explained why everything's positioned in the way it was. So this is basically an example of putting all the theory into practice. So if you want to see more videos, please subscribe, and I wish you a good day. Okay, bye.